Hello fight fans, Mike of MMA With Friends. Everybody please hit that like button. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you're notified whenever I drop a new video or go live like Saturday, February 8th for John Jones versus Dominic Reyes. Let's talk a little bit about Cris Cyborg and the deal Bellator got. Great pickup, great accusation. Very smart move. Scott Coker had a good relationship with Cris Cyborg. They had a good champion in Julia Budd, somebody who gave her one of the best fights she's ever had, no doubt. I mean, going 4 rounds with her. But let's talk about how Bellator went about this. Complete mismanagement, complete mispromotion in my mind. And I'm very surprised at this from Scott Coker. Generally, Scott Coker would take a page out of boxing. And let me give you an example. And you had Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. When Tyson Fury came back, he was not fighting for a championship. He was out there, he's going to go out there and just fight just to fight. What I would have done is I would have had this big, huge extravaganza of the return of Cyborg, or the debut, at least in Bellator, of Cris Cyborg. Because you can get several events out of this. And this is what I do, is I get everybody excited about watching Cris Cyborg. I get all these celebrities to talk about what they think about her coming. You know, I have her do some guest appearances on some different shows and stuff. Let's get the buzz going for Cris Cyborg. People love to watch her, and it kind of, you know, takes a little bit of the mold off of Bellator. I don't know what you want to call it, but people just know Bellator's not UFC. But you end up with a big star like that, and you can get people to watch. Anyways, this is your chance to start pulling people over to Bellator a little bit. You have a star, and they're under 45 years old. So you showcase her, and you showcase her against, you know, somebody that's going to go in there, and they're going to stand with her. They got an okay record. They're not a slouch. Maybe a Marlos Conan. Bring her back. I know they've fought before, but somebody who's not going to run from her, somebody who's not going to tie her up, but somebody that's going to come at her, and she's going to get, you know, a quick knockout, and the crowd cheers and everything, and then have Julia Budd enter the cage, you know, have them talking back and forth, and you either do that first, or option B, you can do first. You can do this after the debut of Cyborg, or you can do it on the debut of Cyborg. Either one of these is okay. But let's take a page out of boxing. What they've done so successfully in the past is they would sell you a pay-per-view. You have, say, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury want to fight each other. They haven't done that with these 2 particular fighters, but they did this very, very successfully with many stars over the years. You're going to have them fight on the same card. And here's what else you're going to do. So you're going to have Julia Budd and Cris Cyborg. You're going to have them fight, say, the same time. They can fight in January. That's fine. You're going to schedule them to fight each other, though, in April. 4 months from now, it could be April, it could be June, but, you know, 4 to 6 months from now, you're going to schedule them in advance to fight each other. Now you have them fighting girls that are, you know, somewhat dangerous. You know, it's you know, a very, very good likelihood that they're not going to stand much a chance of losing, but it's going to be a competitive fight. It's going to get people excited. It's going to give some people something to watch. Definitely in the build-up, you're going to build up these other girls. And you're going to say, this is the matchup to make Julia Budd versus Cris Cyborg. In April, they will fight each other if they win this. Then the whole time, you have this narrative during the fight of these other fighters playing the spoiler. Did Cris Cyborg look past such as did Julia Budd look past so-and-so? They were already scheduled to fight. You know, Liz Carmouche, whoever it is, you know, that's in there. She could spoil the huge payday. And that creates a lot of drama. That creates a lot of excitement. Hell, I would want to watch that. That's a lot of fun for me. And I'm not paying, you're not paying a $60 pay-per-view. But you make this exciting with the fact that they're both fighting. They're fighting competitive girls. You get everybody excited about this. And if they lose, that other card falls apart. So now you have all this drama that you don't even have to manufacture. The drama is actually in the fight. The girls just have to get through, you know, their opponent. And I don't know who you want to have fight first. I think you probably have Julia Budd fight first. Maybe, you know, and she defends her title against whatever Bellator's, you know, number 1, number 2 contender, somewhere in there. And then you have Cris Cyborg come out, maybe in the main event. Maybe you swap it. But, you know, she comes out, she has a huge performance, and then they get inside the cage and challenge each other. You get at least a 2-for-1, maybe a 3-for-1. But I'm telling you, you could have gotten bang for your buck with Cyborg without Julia Budd. Now who does Cris Cyborg fight? You just ruined basically your whole division. Basically, you just turned your 145 pounds women division, which was pretty deep with a great champion in Julia Budd who'd been in some competitive fights. You just turned it into the worst division in the UFC. The division the UFC wants to get rid of. You did exactly the mistake that the UFC made, was building a division for Cyborg. You have to have somebody for her to fight. Now, in my opinion, you have to throw the bank at Kayla Harrison. You got to open up the vault and you got to take a chance. You got to empty out all the money. And don't have her fight Cris Cyborg right out of the gate, first fight. And don't have Cris Cyborg defend against Kayla the first fight. You know, have Cyborg defend against somebody tough, somebody she looks good against, though. And then have Kayla Harrison come out there and, you know, one of these feature bouts. Something that's going to give her a little bit of challenge, but something that's going to highlight those skills. Something that's going to entertain the crowd, get them excited and jazzed up. In my opinion, you have to sign Kayla Harrison now. And hopefully she puts on a good enough fight with Cyborg that you want to see them either fight again, or Kayla Harrison maybe fights Julia Budd somewhere in there too, because Julia Budd was competitive. Say Kayla Harrison beats Cris Cyborg, you can still make that fight with Julia Budd. So you give yourself a few more options. It's just not a deep division. There's just not that many females out there at 145 pounds, and I just felt like Bellator really blew their wad. I don't know what the contract is for Cyborg. I don't know how many fights, but let me know what you guys think down there below. How would you have promoted this? Am I completely wrong? Do you think that Bellator did exactly what they should have? It seems like Strikeforce would have done this a little different with Coker back in the day, but it is what it is. Cyborg is champion in her 4th organizations. Congratulations to her. But let me know what you think down there in the comments. I'm really interested to know your guys' opinion on this one. As always, I love you. I respect you. And I'll see your fine asses later.